starting seated. I'm going for Sukhasana. I haven't got my block here actually, but if you want to use a block or anything, we'll be here for 10 minutes or so. So choose how you want to sit. It doesn't need to be in Sukhasana if you'd rather sit in another way. I want you to be able to focus on your breath, and if you're restless or uncomfortable, you can do that. Okay, so to start this morning, we're doing timing, but timing about moving with the breath, really. That's what it's about this morning. The theme is timing. So we're taking Hakuni Mudra to start, everybody. So it's putting your thumbs together and all your fingertips together. And the thumb can either point down to the heart or it can point upwards. This is Hakini from the goddess Hakini, who is the goddess of the third eye. So it's all to do with your Anya chakra up here. So if you're pointing your thumbs up, you're kind of pointing in that direction. If it gets a little bit uncomfortable and you need to take your hands down at any point, please do. But this is just while we start, we're doing this one. So it's to do with the third eye, this mudra. Now, mudras are seals. Your fingertips and thumb are all sealed together. So you can feel probably it's really balancing right and left, this mudra. It's supposed to bring in clarity into work with intuition and also mental balance between your right and left side of your brain. You'll often see, actually, King Charles is one that does this all the time. It's quite a natural thing to do, I think, but it's often a concentration thing, I think, as well, which is obviously also to do with your third eye. So if you look now at politicians and people, they often use this mudra without realizing that that's what they're doing. Okay, so we're going to work with the breath on this one. Try and just let the shoulders relax so they come away from the ears if you can, rather than holding tension up there. So we're working on timing with the breath, and we're going to try and meditate on the rhythm of the breath a little bit to start. So begin by just watching your breath. Close your eyes if you can and you're comfortable to do so, or half close them. And just watch what your breath's doing. And then begin to work on a count of your 4. But I'm going to count it and just give you an idea of what we're doing. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. Not too fast, not too slow. So that's the length of the in-breath and the exhale. So start to work with your rhythm, inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. So taking your attention away from your mudra, more to what's happening with your breath now. So this is working on pratyahara, withdrawing the senses. So as you start to focus on your breath, you may still hear, I've just heard the birds singing outside the window, but you may still hear things, but you're starting to focus more inwards. By watching the breath, counting helps to focus us inwards, another way to bring on that meditative state. Withdrawing of your senses is the first part of meditation. So, okay, once you've got your breath in a flow, in a rhythm, what we're going to do here is in your inhale, just working with the fingers, not the thumb, so your 4 fingers. In your first inhale that you come to, moving the 2 pointer fingers, digit fingers, away from each other as you inhale, and then moving the fingers back together as you exhale. And then you move to your middle finger, inhaling as you open the fingers away from each other, exhaling as the fingertips of your middle fingers come back together. So we're working through all 4 fingers in that fashion. So then it would be your ring fingers and then your baby finger. So you're working still with your count of 4 on the breath, but you're adding something into it now that you're having to really focus on. So if you find it better to open your eyes and watch as you do this with your fingers, then please do. But it's inhale as we open the fingers, exhale as we bring them back together. Keeping that breath nice and slow, moving the fingers on the breath count. So 4 to open them, 4 to bring them back together as you exhale. Once you've got that rhythm going, Notice how, although you're listening to my voice probably still, notice how you're starting to focus inward. So this is a good one to do if you want to do it on your own without me talking in the background. You'll find you really are able more to draw inwards and focus on what you're doing then. If you were in the class, I wouldn't be talking, but I do it online. Okay, so keep that rhythm going with the fingers, and we're going to add in an extra bit. So as you inhale, allow yourself to belly breathe, so drawing the breath right down to the belly. Just take a couple of those, exhaling, just drawing the belly back. Still that count to 4, still moving with the fingers. It's a bit like patting your head and rubbing your tummy. If this is getting too complicated, don't move the fingers, move on to the belly part. But just a bit of belly breathing. Then on your next inhale, think about drawing that diaphragm outwards as you inhale, really expanding it. So the breath goes down into the belly, it feels. And then drawing up through your pelvic floor and up through your Uddiyana Bandha, that tightening of the diaphragm really, and tucking it back under your ribs. So inhaling, we're breathing out, we're breathing into the diaphragm to open it up. And exhaling, we're drawing up through from the pelvic floor, draw up like the strings pulling up through the center of your body and drawing that Uddiyana Bandha, which is round about your diaphragm, drawing it up and tucking it under your belly, under your ribs, sorry. Okay, so we've got a lot going on here. So if you're still doing the finger count and that, very well done. If you're not, and you're just going to the belly part, the diaphragm and the bandhas, try and now add in the fingers if you can. So try and inhale, opening the fingers, exhale, closing, at the same time working with the diaphragm and the pelvic floor and the tucking of the Uddiyana Bandha under your ribs on the exhale. So very complicated. You're probably only really focusing on yourself now, hopefully. So this is a form of moving meditation, really. You're moving your body. Your brain's still working. Meditation's not about emptying the brain. It's about clarifying things. It's about allowing a bit more openness to come there so that you've not got so many thoughts buzzing around in your head. So then let go of the mudra, just drop your hands down to your knees or wherever they're comfortable. And go back to just the breath. Don't worry about the diaphragm or the bandhas or anything else. Just count for 4 as you inhale and count for 4 as you exhale, maybe 3, 4 times more, and then let go of the breath. And just settle for a moment and see if you feel any different, if there's any different sensations, if your mind maybe feels a little clearer, if you feel a bit more in you, present in you, rather than floating around in the world outside. Hopefully you find some sort of, a little bit more peace there by doing that sort of practice. Okay, now uncross, recross the legs or straighten them out. Find a more comfortable position again, just as we start to move through warm up on the upper body for the shoulders. So when you're ready in this position, go back to your counting and try and move with me this time on the count of 4. So we're exhaling to start. Get to your exhale, and then as you inhale, we're just lifting the arms up on the count of 4. And exhaling, turning the palms, count of 4 as they come back down. I might not be quite going at the right rhythm because I can't count and talk, unfortunately. Okay, take 2 more of those. As you do, watch what's happening with your ribs and shoulders. Try not to draw them up. Try to make the movement just through the shoulder girdle, but try and extend through the waist at the same time. So your spine is extended, but you're not lifting your shoulder girdle upwards to your ears. So after the 3rd one, exhale the arms back down. We're going to inhale them back up and then put a little twist in. So inhale still on that count of 4. Try and keep this timing, this rhythm going right through this. Inhaling up. As you exhale, rotate a little bit to your left and take your arms down towards that side. They might just rest down to the side or on your thigh. Inhale, you're lifting back up and turning gently towards center on your count of 4. So exhale, straight over to the right side. So it's straight into the twist to the other side. Inhale, arms come up. You rotate gently back towards center. It's not a big twist. We're not forcing here. Exhaling back over to the left. Just a gentle movement to move through the shoulder girdle, to move through the spine. As you inhale back up to center, going over to the right now as you exhale. So it's just a gentle movement of rotation in the spine, of lifting and extending the spine, of gently warming up the shoulder blades. One more to either side. As you do this, notice if you're starting to feel warmer. Call this a warm up for a reason. Just by putting your arms above your head actually is enough to make you start to feel warmer, because your heart has to start pumping a bit harder to get the blood moving. So after your next one to the right, we come back to center on the inhale and we rest the arms back down on the exhale at our sides. Letting everybody catch up here. Okay, so now we're going to take the elbows up, outwards. So we're taking the hands behind the head. Watch you're not pushing your head forward. Try and push your head backwards into your hands so that you then feel that shoulder girdle open up and switch on, or close up in the back of your body rather. Okay, so a little bit of cat-cow here. So when you're ready, we're inhaling just in neutral spine. As you exhale, we're rolling forward just gently from the neck down. Don't go too far, but bring the elbows down towards each other so they come towards the front of your body and they close up. Gentle cat back. Inhaling, you're opening up and you're taking the elbows back this time, pushing that head backwards gently into your palms to open up into a little bit of a back bend. Inhale there, exhale back forward, sorry. So we're inhaling, exhale, still on that count of 4. Using the elbows here to move us. Think about them drawing little semicircles, opening and closing. As you inhale and exhale, take the timing from the breath as you roll back into cat one last time. And then roll back into cow back, your little bit of your back bend one last time, open up. And then release on the exhale, take the arms down to the side. Come over onto child's pose now slowly. Find your child's pose extended. So we're going to take right and left here, so our side bends. So you don't need to have the head on the floor. Use your hands to support your body weight, the top of your body weight, but sit your hips right back onto your heels if you can. Okay, so we're inhaling in extended child's pose. Head might be up or slightly down. And exhaling there. Take one more breath, just finding that central point in your Balasana child's pose. And then as you inhale, walk your hands. I'm going to the right, so walk your hands to one of the sides. We'll go both ways anyway. And exhale there and just settle into your thighs. Let your belly settle. Take one breath there in this extension to the right side in my case. When you find the next inhale, count of 4, we're going back to the center again on that inhale. And taking an exhale there. Use the breath to time your movements. And then on your next inhale, you're walking to the opposite side, opening up the extension on my right side now because I've gone left. Exhale there. Take one breath here. Inhale, exhale to your count of 4. Enjoying that lovely stretch down the side body and into the lower back, possibly, hopefully. Next inhale, you're walking back to center. Extended child's pose again, take an exhale there and to finish that breath. And then come up to all 4s. So we're going to just move from all 4s back into child's pose on the breath. We'll take 3 breaths. So we're inhaling in your all 4s. And then exhale, sink the tailbone back, keep the hands grounded where they are. Allow the head to just come down slightly through between the arms. Don't try and reach the floor too quickly. Just allow that little upper back stretch. Inhaling, back up slowly, slowly, slowly into all fours. Tuck the tummy as you exhale back into child's pose. See if you can really stretch those hips back towards your heels and allow that head just to gently dip as you come down. And then inhaling back up to all fours. So take your rhythm with your breath, not what I'm saying, but try and move with the breath. One more time back into child's pose. Hold it in child's pose. Take a breath here before we take the next movement. And we're going to move our hands slightly forward, so extend even more. Your bottom might come off your heels, don't worry. So extend even more. So you're going to come up so that you're going to go into half plank. So you need to extend your arms a little bit, about hand's distance further forward. You will feel like your shoulders have come up towards your ears possibly. Okay, so find your breath again as we inhale, inhaling forward into half plank. So rolling the hips forward, and you should end up with your shoulders over your wrists, belly tucked in. Exhale, we're rolling back into very extended child's pose. So don't go back too far. If it's very uncomfortable in your shoulders, please don't do that. Just settle your bottom at half height. Come back up on the inhale, back into half plank. Try and watch what's happening with your neck. Don't let your head get too heavy. Keep that chin tucked just to support the weight of the head. One more back into half plank. And settle back into child's pose for one breath. Those that want to, we're going to do that 3 more times. Those that want to can now tuck their toes and come up into plank from child's pose. So otherwise, just stick to half plank. When you're ready, on your in-breath, count of 4. Inhale, moving forward and maybe coming up into plank, full plank. Exhale, knees come down to the floor if you're in plank. If you're in half plank, you just do what we were just doing. And just sink the bottom back and head maybe reaches the floor this time. Maybe you're able to do that with your toes tucked better. Your head probably can roll forward. Back into plank or half plank on the inhale. Try and keep that nice straight spine. Lift the belly, lift the chest forward. Tuck the chin in so that the back of the neck is still engaged with the spine. Exhaling back into child's pose for the last time in that one. Untuck the toes. Have a little stretch out, everybody. You need to take the arms down at any point and just have a shake of them, please do. Okay, so now we're going to go, oops, can't see. We're going to go from child's pose. Option is to come into all fours, but we're all going to tuck our toes here. So everybody tuck their toes in child's pose to start. And then the option is just to come up into all fours and rock back. Or if you feel like you're able to this morning, option is to push through the feet, lift the tailbone and come up into down dog. So it's down dog or all fours from child's pose on the breath, keeping those toes tucked. So inhale, bringing yourself forward into all fours or up into down dog. No heels on the floor at this point. We're really just reaching out through the feet and lifting them up. Back down into child's pose on the exhale. Inhale, pressing up into down dog. As I say, heels are lifted, feet are really expanded here. You're up on your toes. Exhaling back down into child's pose. If the breath's not really working for you, don't worry. Please just go with the flow, but try and make it nice and rhythmic. Back down into child's pose. Last one. Elbows to the floor. Maybe they go arms folded, head rests on them. Or maybe you sweep your arms round for a moment. Let your head come to the floor if it can. And allow your hands to go down to your side of your feet. And rotate your palms to face upwards. That should let your back of your body really expand. Take a couple of breaths there just to release the back from moving up and down so much. I'm going to go back up again in a minute. So untucking those toes if you haven't already. coming back up to all fours. So worked a lot there on the shoulders. We're just going to warm up the hips a little bit now. So we're going to do our dog lifts, which is lifting the leg and back down on the breast. So find your alignment cues in your tabletop here. Remember, tuck that tummy, knees are under your hips, tummy's tucked, heart is moving slightly forward between the arms. I rotate my inner arms forward because it gives you that bit more strength in your arms, and then don't forget that tuck of the chin. Okay, so using that nice strong position, we're going to move I'm going to go left leg first, but do whichever leg you want. Find the breath again. As you inhale, lifting that left leg outwards, still in the same position it's in tabletop, and exhale it back down. So it's just lifting through the side of your hip there, you're warming it up. The crease at the side of your hip, focus on there, that's where you're lifting from, not from your knee, but from the hip. Think of the hip taking the weight of the leg. The leg should therefore feel quite light. It's your hip that's really the point to focus on here. On the breath, 2 or 3 times just on one side. And then moving on to the other side on the breath. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Focus on that crease on the outside of the opposite hip, whichever one you're doing now, it's my right. Keeping that sort of tabletop leg shape as well as we do this. We're not extending anywhere. It's just moving up and down using that hip to lift the leg. And then taking it out on the other side again, we're going to hold it in that position and just take 3 inhale exhales as you rotate the leg. So from your knee, imagine a pencil is on your knee and you're just making tiny circles. So you feel that movement go between the knee and that spot on the outside of the hip bone. And then allow the leg to come back down, take that to the other side. We'll only go in one direction today. Normally we'd do 2, but it's just to warm up that area of your body. So take it in whichever direction you want. 2 or 3 breaths here, just circling tiny circles with the knee, which then of course rotates the hip in the hip socket. And then allow the leg to come back down. If you need to take a child's pose just to stretch out the hips again, please feel free just to have a little stretch through there. Come back up to tabletop. We're taking thread the needle now. So you might want to separate your legs a little bit wider at the knees. Sometimes I go a little bit wider than hip distance. It allows that twist to come in a bit easier when you... Okay, so we're moving into the right hand first of all. As you inhale, you're taking your left arm up and opening it up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, you're softening the right elbow and allowing that left arm to fold down under. But we're not going right down to the floor and stopping. We're coming back up on the inhale and opening up again into that twist to look upwards. So 2 more of those. On the second one, we will hold it down on the floor. So inhaling up, still working with the timing of the breath. I think I'm going to have to put a ponytail in a minute. I'm getting a bit hot here. 1 more and then we'll stay down in that one for a couple of breaths. Allowing the shoulder to settle onto the floor and your head to settle onto the floor. And just resting and breathing. And allowing that shoulder that you're resting on to open up at the back by taking the gravity of your body into it. As I say, if anybody ever feels uncomfortable with any of these moves, please come out of it. Don't hold or push yourself into positions just because I'm saying to go into that position. Listen to your body and come out of it and do another stretch or go back into child's pose just for a moment. Okay, so when you're ready, pressing into your right hand in my case and lifting back up, maybe having an opening again just to stretch out of that. Bringing the left hand down, taking that on the other side. So align yourself first of all on your top half. Make sure you feel nice and steady through your wrists, through your shoulders and through your chin. Inhaling when you're ready, taking the right arm up in my case and rotating gently and coming down to wherever you're comfortable. You don't need to go right through. just a bit of a twist in a shoulder warm up this. So it's just a little bit of movement. We don't all need to go full on with this thing. I'm not going down as far on this side, I'm noticing, so that's telling me something that my body doesn't want to do it this morning. Really having to work and think about it if I want to go right down. Okay, and the next one, on the exhale, come down. Rest the shoulder on the floor if you can. Rest your head on the floor. Oops. Let the gravity pour into that shoulder and just open it up gently, the one that's on the floor. And then gently pressing into that left hand, rotating as you come up on the inhale, reaching up and exhaling the hand back down to the mat. I'm just going to put my ponytail in because I can't see a thing at the moment. Okay, so we're coming up to kneeling anyway now. Choices here, just to kneel or to come into broken toe. So again, tucking the toes, making sure every toe feels tucked under, particularly the baby one gets missed out here sometimes. So you're tucking your toes under and sitting onto your hips. This looks easy until you do it, and then you think after about 3 breaths, oh, I shouldn't have done this. So please feel free to come out of it. Not everybody's got that availability in their feet and then in their toes. Having said that, this is what you should do to get that availability. So you might just stay here for a couple of breaths. Coming back to the Hakini Mudra while we're here, just to put another little bit into it. So the Hakini Mudra, we can either, as I say, point your thumbs upwards or towards your heart. But allow your shoulders just to settle. Try and space out the space between your palms by pressing into your fingertips and making quite a large diamond shape there if you can. And find your breath again. Count to 4. And as you breathe, do your feet start to tell you something? Are they starting now to say they've had enough of this stretch through the plantar fascia area? If you feel it's wrong for you and it's painful, please come out of it. If you don't, take 4 breaths using your fingertips. Everybody take those breaths, but you can either untuck your toes or not. But inhaling, opening your fingers, exhaling, closing them. But really bringing the focus onto your fingertips, taking it away from your feet that might be starting to shout at you. But as you do, your feet will then start to relax a little bit more because the focus isn't on them. When the focus is on you, you feel watched and you behave differently. If the focus isn't on you, then you tend to relax a little bit more, and that happens with your muscles as well. Okay, so after your next exhale, let go of the mudra, keeping those toes tucked just for everybody to come up now into down dog. So open up through the back of the hips, lifting up the hips, rolling onto the balls of the feet now and releasing those toes a little bit. Maybe not taking your heels quite down, but more towards the floor this time than we did a minute ago. And then just walk the dog. Find your breath again though, and inhale, move one foot. Exhale, take the heel back down to the floor. So a really slow walk of the dog this morning. So then you move on to the other foot as you inhale, roll up onto the ball of the foot. Exhale, slowly lower that heel down towards the floor. Doesn't need to reach it. So take a few more on either side here. Really trying to walk really slowly. Use the breath to slow down. Your brain will want to do it quickly. It will be trying to push you on. Use the breath to work on the brain to slow things down. Enjoy that stretch then a little bit more through the back of the leg. You might feel it switch on a bit more. If you do it quickly, it'll be a different sensation. You'll be warming up the muscle rather than stretching it. Okay, and then as you exhale, both heels are back down, you're even. Walk the feet forward, coming into a really soft forward fold at the front of your mat. Allow yourself just maybe to let your shoulders hang for a moment here and allow the back to stretch out. Then find your breath again and see how many breaths it takes you to really come up slowly on a roll up. So hands just trailing on the leg. Don't need to count too much here, but just slowly, not worrying that it's one breath or two breaths, but see how slow you can take it to come back up to the top. Again, the brain will be trying to push you forwards, but every little bit of your body can just slowly unfurl by coming back up to the top, rolling out the shoulders, taking the hands to face forwards, letting the shoulders sink, maybe having a rock through your feet. Maybe you've still got your eyes closed, maybe you want to open them. Hopefully you're not feeling dizzy by keeping your eyes closed. Okay, so we're at the front of the mat. We're just going to take a sort of modified sun salutation just to move on the breath again. We won't be going down with this one though. We'll go into warrior one and then into tree. So there's no up and down really in this. It's only as far as forward fold. We're up now. So front of the mat, everybody, find the breath again. When you're ready, inhaling the arms up above the head. Exhaling, just take them down to your sides, the first one. Inhale this time, maybe as you inhale, maybe allowing yourself to come into a little bit of a back bend as your hands come above your head. Exhaling, taking the mat down. Again, really moving slowly with the timing of the breath. Inhaling, arms come up above the head. We're in extension, not a back bend this time. And then we're sweeping down or rolling down gently, whichever, into forward fold as you exhale down towards the floor again. Inhaling, we're coming into half fold. So just reaching out through your crown of your head, exhaling back into forward fold. Inhaling, as you inhale, come up, arms up above the head. And then as you exhale, we're stepping back the right foot into warrior one feet. So not too big a step. Find your warrior one. Hands should be above your head as you exhale there. Inhale, take the hands down towards your chest again and bring them into Hakini Mudra now in warrior one. So Hakini Mudra hands in front of you. Exhale there. So inhale, keep them in Hakini Mudra and inhale them back up above your head, your arms. Your feet are staying still, it's just your arms we're moving here. Extension, exhale them back down to the heart. We're going to take that back bend this time with the Hakini Mudra. Open up through the chest, roll your heart forward as you inhale, take the hands up and backwards, take the elbows back a little bit if you can. Exhale, roll them back down to the front. Take one more of those. Inhale back up. Opening up through the chest. Exhaling back down. Take the hands to the side now, just breathe. On your next inhale, you're going to take the left arm up as you open up the chest and take the right arm back onto the back of the thigh on the right side. And hold here and breathe. So you're in warrior one legs, but you've got the sort of dancing warrior feeling going on with your arms. So inhaling, lift up through the chest. Take that top arm back a little bit if you can and open up through the shoulder. Exhale. So another 2 breaths here. Think of what you can do through the feet. Maybe you can close your eyes if you're finding this too easy. Find that wobble helps. Maybe you can just gently push into the back thigh with your back hand and lift up a little bit more through the lower back. And then inhale on your next one, take the hands up. And exhale them back down to your side. Inhale, take your hands back into Hakini Mudra in front of you. Exhale there. The next one, we're going to inhale and exhale straight into tree from this. So inhale, exhale, pushing into the front leg and bringing your foot straight back up into tree on the right hand side in my case. So the back leg has moved forward. Take a couple of breaths here. You can stay here with Hakini Mudra and just take a couple of breaths in tree. If you're wobbling, pop your toe on the floor, remember. If you're not wobbling, close your eyes. Everybody can take the choice here of coming with me and inhaling, taking the hands up above the head, still in the Hakini Mudra, really pressing into fingers and thumbs, concentrating on them as well as your alignment. Exhale, take the arms back down. Inhale, one more time in tree. Exhale, take the foot down, take the arms out to the side and just rest in Tadasana. So we'll take that on the other side now. A little bit more on the rhythm of the breath if I can do it, and if you can do it. So when you're ready, inhaling, arms come up above the head, exhaling down. We're taking a little back bend, arms above the head this time. Inhaling, open up and rolling the chest forward, really focusing on lifting there. Exhaling, come back to neutral spine. Taking our forward fold now as we inhale up and exhale, swan dive. Do this with your eyes shut. If you're really finding this, it does help you focus as well. Inhaling into half fold when you're ready. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, sweeping the arms back up above the head. Exhaling, taking the hands into Hakini Mudra and down to your chest as you step back, on the left foot this time in my case, into Warrior One legs. So we're in Hakini Mudra. Take a breath here just till you all get yourself engaged with the floor properly. And back onto the inhale, we're lifting the hands in Hakini Mudra up above our head. Extension first of all. So that's just shoulders down from your ears still, remember, but your hands above your head. Exhaling the arms back down. Inhaling, opening up through the heart into your little back bend this time, arms above the head. As I say, close your eyes, use that for your balance practice too if you're finding this. And it actually does help you really focus on what you're doing. If you're finding that too difficult, please don't. Okay, so then we're taking the hands down to our side. As you inhale, taking your right arm up above your head, and your left arm then rotates and comes down the back of your left leg as you exhale. Take a breath or two here, just inhaling, lifting through that open side of your right hand side, your forward side. Exhaling, softening into that back foot maybe as you exhale. See what you can lift on your inhale. See what you can settle a little bit down into on your exhale. Inhale, then take the arms back to your Hakini Mudra. Roll forward. Inhale here as you exhale, moving forward and coming into tree. On the opposite side, hold and breathe, or come with me and inhale the arms up above the head. Take them back down on the exhale. We'll take 2 more of those, or 2 more breaths if you're just holding in tree. Inhaling. Watch the shoulders again are not creeping towards the ears. Think of your elbows going backwards a little bit if you're taking the arms up and down. Press into the fingers and the thumb gently, just focusing on that Hakini Mudra. As you exhale, bring your foot back down, come back into Tadasana and breathe. Just let go of the holding of the breath. When you roll down, we're going to finish now in Shavasana. So no leaving now. This is the important bit. Okay, so take your own time to roll down. Allow the shoulders and the back of the body really to open up. Soften the hips. Allow the back of the legs just to soften by folding the knees a little bit. Hands to the floor, bring yourself down onto your knees and come into Shavasana. Use a pillow here if you would like to. So Shavasana, from moving in sun salutation, not a straightforward thing to do. So before we actually settle into Shavasana, just to help us get into this, and we're only here for a few minutes, but just to help us to relax back into it, take a full body stretch, first of all, and then sweep the hands back down and pop them into Hakini Mudra maybe again if you want to, or just put them by your sides. But draw your right leg up gently towards your chest, and then just allow it to fold over your left leg just a little bit, or a lot, depends on how you feel. But just rotating and using your left hand maybe to hold it so it's not too heavy, just to relax that side of your body. Allow your leg then to come back up to center and take that leg away and do the same thing the other side. So just a gentle twist with one leg. Just rolling over gently and rolling back. Up the foot to the floor, take the other one back in, same thing again. So roll on the hip, maybe use your hands on the floor to roll, and back over. Not holding, it's just a rolling sensation. Same thing on the other leg for the last time. Bring both feet in, and then just take a few rolls, windscreen wipers, through the hips again. Just not fully over, just using, not really on the breath, this, just slowing down the movement. So there's no tension in it, it's just loosening off the back of the body here. And then stretch the legs away from you and settle into Shavasana. So have a wriggle or whatever you need to do. We're not here for long, but just try and let your body settle into the floor. Not easy to do this. It's hard to find stillness for people in general. We're always in full pelt, in full motion. Finding this stillness in Shavasana doesn't just happen as soon as you lie on the floor. You have to take your time again to release into it. Shavasana is a really important part of our practice. We don't have time often to do it, but there's a reason it's timed at the end of the class. So find your breath now. Inhale, exhale at your speed, but as you exhale, maybe exhale a little bit longer and through your mouth perhaps. Maybe you find sighing the breath out allows your body just to release into this. Your mind will be saying, how long am I here? Can't I move on? We're trying to switch those chittery vritties off, the chattering monkeys off. So the reason this is at the end of the class, Shavasana, normally, is to regroup and to consolidate the practice you've done. So you have to let your body settle and allow those benefits to be absorbed. So again, we're drawing in the senses. We're using pratyahara by using the breath to draw us back into the body. Remember, the hardest work of all to do is nothing. But while you're here and you're working with your breath slowly to come back inwards and be present in what you're doing now, here, this minute, just consider how you have changed even in this practice. This is a time to watch yourself in Shavasana. When you're still, to watch yourself, to notice idiosyncrasies, to notice imbalances mentally and physically. It's also a time to notice your connection to the outside world through the breath, because you're breathing the outside world in and you're breathing back out into it. But you should, if you're here long enough, get that sensation of being in your own body and not in the world outside. It's around you rather than part of you. And we're not going to probably get it here, but if you're in Shavasana for long enough and I'm not talking and you've got some nice music playing or something, the thing you're aiming for in Shavasana is called shunya, which is emptiness. It gets to the point that you're not quite falling asleep. It's that sensation of you're just drifting, a kind of out-of-body experience almost. You're just switching off is what you're doing. You're switching off so that your energy can regroup as well. Again, mentally and physically. I could sit here all day talking about the benefits of Shavasana, but really feeling the benefits is something we have all got to learn to do for ourselves. So focusing on that breath and allowing the stillness to take over around you and in you. Maybe you focus on white lights or focus on other things at the same time, but we're not able to work towards that here now, but this is just maybe letting you think, yeah, I might try this a bit longer on my own sometime. So before we finish, let's go back to that breath count again. If your hands are in a Hakini Mudra, if they're not, bring them in. And let's do the finger count, once for each finger, inhaling for a count of 4, exhaling through your mouth for a count of 6 as you draw the finger back together. So I'm going on to my middle finger now as I inhale for 4 and exhale for 6, sighing the breath out through my mouth as the fingers come back together. So by using the fingers here, we're starting to attach ourselves to a little bit more than just the breath. We're realizing we are in a physical body. We haven't left it. Once you get to the pinky finger and have done it, just release the Hakini Mudra. Put your hands down to your side or your belly. Maybe you want to bring your legs in to your feet on the floor. Just start a little rock movement there through your hips again. Maybe turning your head at the same time gently, just to bring yourself back into the physicality of your body. And letting your body know that it's being asked to move again in a moment. So it's not just you working on your inner conscience or whatever. You're starting to come back into that outside part of you. Okay. So anybody that needs any more stretches or rock and rolls, or anybody that would like to go back into Shavasana, please do. Otherwise, take your time and come back up just to finish class in Sukhasana. Maybe in our Hakini Mudra this morning rather than our prayer hands. Or if you'd rather go back into prayer hands, bring the palms together as well, then please do. Just for a second, notice how your body clock has maybe slowed down just a little bit. And every time it does, it gives you a little bit longer on this air. So remember that. The more you can slow down, the longer it is till the end of your last breath. That's a funny way to finish class maybe, but it is me. Okay, thank you everybody for your class again today. Glad we all made it back to the mat. Have a lovely day. Namaste.